My name is Inês PIO. I am Portuguese. I came to Brussels in 2005 to study anthropology, and I have been living in Brussels ever since. I'll tell you a little bit about the Portuguese. We are very much family oriented. We have lots of cousins and uncles, grandparents that are still alive most of the time. And we have always this extended family that always knows each other and that they always meet for family dinners and celebrations for Christmas. It's always a big celebration. So family is really important and very big for Portuguese. We're also warm, but we are not loud. We are not very effusively warm. We're warm. We are warm and nice people, and we like to tell others that we are people with brandos costumes. So people with, soft ways of behaving, ways of being. We're not very loud, but we are warm. We love to eat. We love to drink. We love our food. We think that nobody else prepares fish the way that we do. We are the best at preparing seafood as well, and we are very proud of our cuisine. We love sun, we love nice weather. We complain a lot in Brussels about Brussels weather and Belgium in general, especially when we compare it with Portugal. We love going to the sea, we love the beach. We have so much coast and sea in Portugal that for us it's a very pleasurable and a very enjoyable thing to do, to just enjoy the waves and the sun and the sand and to play and to have fun by the coast. We are known for being good workers, having good ethics as workers. We are reliable, entrepreneurial. We work a lot, especially in Brussels. And we are also known for desenrascar, which is a Portuguese word that I'm not sure if it can be translated, but it means that you find a solution for something. Might not have been what you had initially foreseen, might not be the ideal solution, but if there's no other available solution, is something that nevertheless works. Some of us are very religious, especially when you look at the north of the country. There's a bit of a north-south divide when it comes to Catholicism and religiousness. The north being much more religious than the south being also much more secular, and also politically, south being more left-wing and the north being more right-wing. We love football. We are very proud of our national team. We all have our national teams within Portugal that we want them to win. There's always this rivalry between North and South, Lisbon and Porto, and between two teams in Lisbon as well, Sporting and Benfica. We are very proud of our music. The most well known is Fado, but there's so much more music apart from Fado. There's some contemporary new artists that we are very proud of. And even in terms of Fado, of course, Adamali is the most famous singer, but we've had many other Fado singers in the meantime, some contemporary ones that are trying to modernize Fado and making Fado a more contemporary art form. And even within Fado is not there's a world within Fado. There's a Fado corrido, which is a much more happy, rhythmic type of Fado. There's Fado de Coimbra, which is an academic Fado with much more strong emphasis in guitars. And then there's, of course, Fado Vadio, Fado de Lisboa, and all of these are different types of Fado. Portuguese have been coming to Brussels for centuries. We've had already the religious persecution, people escaping Inquisition, especially the Jewish communities coming centuries ago. Much more recently, in the 60s and the early 70s, we had many Portuguese coming, escaping the repressive military dictatorial regime of Salazar in Portugal. And they came and they formed a very strong solidarity bond between them because they were all escaping repressive regime. So they all helped each other, and this strong sense of solidarity was there, very present in the 60s and the 70s. Then Portugal joined the EU in 86, and with these there came a second wave of migration to Brussels. These were people who came for economical reasons. They were not escaping any political dictatorship. They were here. They are the shop owners, the restaurants. They came with business, and the people that I talked with when I was talking to the different types of communities in Brussels, they explained to me that this solidarity spirit in the 60s and the 70s, it eroded a little bit. It was not as present, and it's not as present now as it was at the beginning, as the community expanded and through neighborhoods and even geographically in Portugal. The ones in the 60s and the 70s, many of them, they came from the south, from the more secular and left-wing south, and then in the 80s, late 80s and 90s and so on, many of them came from the north, from the more Catholic and industrial north for the business regions. There might be a north-south rivalry here at play, but it's just that the Portuguese community in Brussels is not a uniform community. There's many people coming from different regions, and if you look, for example, at the names of the restaurants, you can pinpoint which part of the country they come from. And since 86, since Portugal joined the EU, you also have the so-called expats, which are the people working for all the institutions, the European Parliament, even NGOs, consultancies, the agencies of the European Commission, etc., NATO as well. And they don't have roots here. They came very recently. They did not have necessarily roots in Brussels, but they have been establishing their roots here in Brussels by marrying, buying houses, and just staying. This is a moving painting. We'll see what the future will show for this community as well. We had the financial crisis in 2008 and 2009, and it affected particularly bad the South European countries, Portugal included. So we had a very strong wave of migration, very young migration, educated migration from Portugal to Brussels around that time. I thought that the situation had reversed a little bit since Portugal already started recovering economically from the crisis. But the Portuguese community in Brussels is strong, and it's here to stay, and we'll see what the next waves of migration will be. You can find the community mostly in Flagey, around Flagey. We have some statues. We have a statue of Fernando Pessoa in Flagey, which is a very famous writer and poet. You have as well in São Gil. You can find many Portuguese restaurants and shops. São Gil, Ixelles, the area around Flagey, the area around even close to Gare du Midi a little bit as well. You can find lots of Portuguese influence there. Restaurants, hearing it on the streets, restaurants, shops, and that's it. Oh, look at that.